More than 50 people were shot over another violent weekend in Chicago, a level of violence that has marked many of the summer weekends this year and has pushed the total number of people shot in the city to more than 2,600. The number of people shot during all of last year was 2,988. Between Friday evening and early Monday morning, at least 52 were shot and 9 of them were killed, according to police. The weekend before, 49 people were shot, 9 of them fatally. And the weekend before that, 52 people were shot, 7 of them fatally. The month of July saw 65 fatal shootings, the most for a July in the city since 2006. Last Monday 9 people were shot to death, the deadliest day in Chicago since 2003. The deadliest period over this past weekend was between Saturday afternoon and early Sunday when 5 people were killed and at least 19 others were wounded. Among the deaths was the son of a Chicago police officer. Arshel Dennis 19. He was with a 20-year-old man who was wounded outside a house in the 2900 block of West 82nd Street when someone approached and fired shots around 12:05 a.m. Sunday, police said. Emmanuel on policing Mayor Rahm Emanuel at Motorola Solutions ribbon cutting, says police part of solution, shouldn't be ostracized as Chicago grapples with violence. August 15, 2016. John Byrne, Chicago Tribune Dennis, who was to return to college in New York later Sunday, was shot in the chest. He was pronounced dead at 12:45 a.m. at Little Company of Mary Hospital, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. 3 people were shot to death and at least 7 others were wounded on the first night of the weekend, between Friday afternoon and early Saturday. At least 16 people were shot Sunday into early Monday. One of the victims was a 6-year-old girl who was shot in the arm around 9:10 p.m. outside her home in the 12,300 block of South Perry Avenue. She was taken to Roseland Community Hospital in good condition, police said. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson told reporters Monday morning that he spent a good portion of his weekend grieving with the elder Dennis, who is his friend. Overnight violence in Chicago. A look at the scenes of violence in Chicago on the weekend of August 13 to 14, 2016. In his nearly 30 years with the police department, Johnson said he's seen far too many parents like Dennis whose children won't be coming home. Quite frankly, I'm just sick of it, Johnson said at a news conference at police headquarters. There's no other way to describe it. I'm just sick of it. Johnson told reporters he and Officer Dennis were patrolmen together in the 1990s in the Gresham district on the South Side, and that the officer is a good man who was raising a good kid. Any shooting victim in Chicago is unacceptable, said Johnson. But this one hits home. As he has many times, Johnson called for stricter prison sentences for repeat illegal gun offenders. Efforts over the years in Springfield to impose mandatory minimum sentences for people caught with an illegal gun have been stalled by lawmakers who felt such guidelines would disproportionately affect African Americans and other minorities. Without revealing specifics, Johnson said a new bill in the works in Springfield would enable judges to impose more sentences on the higher end of the range for felons convicted more than once of carrying a gun illegally. It's unclear, however, if plea agreements would be covered. Any leader of the city of Chicago that thinks what we're seeing out on the streets is okay, shouldn't be a leader, Johnson said, flanked by other command staff. Go in those neighborhoods and live there and tell me how you feel after a week. People are afraid of casting a large net over minority communities with holding people accountable. That's not what we're trying to do, he said. These guys are doing this 2, 3, 4, 5 times. They're clearly telling us they don't want to play by our rules. They absolutely don't care about the rules of society, Johnson said. We need our judicial partners and our legislators to help us hold them accountable. They couldn't care less if it's an 80-year-old grandmother, a 5-year-old child out there, Johnson said. If they're looking for someone to shoot, they couldn't care less who's out there. and that's our fault because we have constantly shown them we are not going to hold them accountable. Little kids getting shot out there is just stupid," he told reporters.